Oh,
What's up, everybody? Welcome back to another episode of the Dead Funny Podcast. I'm your host, Chris. Joined today is my co-hosts, Kelsey, James, Canter, and JoJo. Holy shit, guys.
Chris, I've noticed every time you do the intro to the podcast, I do a weird, slug dance, and I don't know why. I've done it for years at this point, I think, because I'm just
funny.
like, oh yeah, I know the rhythm of this, and for some reason I just do a slug dance.
That's funny. Oh, man.
It's not going anywhere.
So, we're going to talk about something that's a tad bit controversial. This will be an interesting conversation. Because I feel like we can't not talk about this. Like, it's fucking crazy. Like, it's insane. So, obviously, I watch a shit ton of podcasts. It's basically all I fucking consume as far as fucking entertainment goes outside of video games. And obviously he's been making his fucking rounds on fucking news and fucking everything else. So if you don't know about this, I'd be fucking surprised. You might not know about this specific thing we're about to talk about, but fucking Kanye West. Oh. God damn. Holy shit. I mean, how to ruin your career in a week. I mean, Jesus Christ. I don't know if you guys know the recent shit he just did on Alex Jones's InfoWars show or not.
I do
something
a bit,
about Nazis, maybe.
I would like you to enlighten me with it.
Explain, because I do know, but
yeah. So first, what happened is that Kanye West got kicked off Twitter. This is how it all started. Kanye West got kicked off Twitter because he wrote some tweet. Once again, Kanye West tweet. I want to fucking preface that. It's fucking internet. Here comes fucking sound bites, I'm sure. Kanye West tweet was, I'm about to wake up and go DEFCON 5 on all Jewish people.
No, it was DEFCON 3.
3, I'm sorry, 3.
But not, just to be clear, not DEFCON like the real thing. It was DEFCON.
Oh, my bad.
The TH, because he's an idiot.
Yeah.
Significantly more concerning in
For sure.
the misspelling.
For sure.
It sounds more threatening.
Yeah, just a tad bit.
Yeah.
I am more than happy for JoJo, who obviously would have been taking any of this offensively, to interject and tell me where I've mistakenly said something that was wrong.
Slightly, I guess, the Jewishest of all here, in the sense that I am.
Feel free to step in at any point, for sure. That being said, so that's where it started. He then got removed from Twitter, all this other shit, blah, 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 blah. Lost all of his fucking deals with fucking Adidas and obviously, to which he then just decided to continue to go on places that would have him and say, well, it's because they're all ran by Jewish people, so of course they're all going to drop me. Jews run everything.
Wow.
No.
And he assembled this weird ass Avengers of shitty disgraced alt-right people, like Milo I don't know his crazy Greek last name. It was a guy who was the one conservative gay guy, and now he says he prayed the gay away and is a straight guy. But he's that's insane. That's not a real thing that happens. But he got banned from Twitter a million years ago, and it blew up his whole career. And Kanye's hanging out with him now.
So,
God.
Yeah.
Sorry, the far-right Avengers is a very upsetting phrase.
Yeah.
Will haunt me in my nightmares.
The shitty ones. It's not the popular figures. It's people who are disgraced and on the fringe.
The far-right alt-Avengers. Oh, yeah. Good.
So, and this is going to play directly into what JoJo was just saying. He decided that he was going to. So he had one interview, and JoJo, maybe you can help me out with this. I can't remember the dude's name, which was actually a good interview, where the dude that was interviewing was Jewish, and he wasn't necessarily attacking Kanye, but trying to understand the reasonings behind what he's saying. I can't remember the dude's name. It's a stupid.
Is this the one popular. He walked out on?
No, not
Tim
him.
Pool.
Not Tim Pool.
Okay.
This guy is actually respected by people. Tim Pool is kind of
Tim Pool's
exactly, kind of in that other category for sure.
He's one of the shitty Avengers.
So God, is it Lynn? I think it started with an L or something like that, like Les or something. I don't know. Either way,
Manuel Miranda.
Sure, whatever. Anyway,
no.
Somebody. And it was actually a really decent interview. I actually watched it, and he was sitting here saying stuff whenever people tend to lash out like this, it's because they feel like they have nobody. He's all like, who's in your corner? Things that are going on. Like, go ahead, Kelsey.
Lex Fridman?
There you go. That's the guy. Thank you.
Oh, I don't know who that
Yeah.
is.
So, yeah, apparently he's like fucking super popular. I've never watched anything until just to obviously this fucking thing, because all the podcasts that I listen to, a lot of them listen to Kanye West's music, and they're like, what the fuck is happening? So, everybody's talking about it. So, he then goes on Alex Jones's InfoWars. For people who aren't up to date with Alex Jones, Alex Jones recently fucking got sued in court by all the people, all the parents from the Sandy Hook incident that happened. And kind of
Sandy Hook school shooting where 19 people died, and he
Correct.
said it was a hoax, and it was not.
So that happened, and a lot of other things that played into that. I didn't watch the whole court thing. I was too busy watching the Daryl Brooks one, so I didn't pay attention to this one. But, I mean, we all kind of knew where that one was going to go anyway. That being said, he's doing his show again, InfoWars. Some people like Alex Jones, some people don't. With that being said, Kanye West decided he was going to show up on InfoWars. So he's making his rounds for sure. And he is dressed up in... I mean, he's wearing like a normal outfit, but then he has like a full nylon black face mask completely covering his entire head and face. Like, you cannot see him. It looks like some BDSM shit.
Yeah.
And like gloves and stuff like that. Like, if that's going to hide his identity, like, everybody knows what you're fucking... You've got money off your voice for fucking ever. Like, everybody knows what you sound like at this point.
Also, I'm so sorry to say this, but looking at I'm looking at the images right now based on what you said. He looks like the terrorist videos that you see in movies when they're trying to, like, a terrorist is calling in, wanting to negotiate with the United States. Like,
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, he looks
that's
good.
not wildly dissimilar from what he looks like.
good.
So, I want to not necessarily give props, but just give
This is concerning.
I guess just give some recognition to the fact that he's done something that I don't think a lot of people can do, and that is to make Alex Jones not the craziest person in the room. That's pretty impressive, honestly. That's pretty
And make
impressive.
Alex Jones uncomfortable by
Yeah.
not being the craziest person in the room.
Pretty impressive. It's pretty impressive. That being said, he went on to tell people that let's see, every human being has something of value that they brought to the table, especially Hitler. Also, Hitler was born a Christian. I see good things about Hitler also. I love everyone. Jewish people are not going to tell me you can love us and you can love what we're doing with your contracts and you can love what we're pushing with pornography. But this guy that invented highways, invented the very microphone that you use as a musician, you can't say out loud that person ever did anything good. I'm done with that. I don't know what that rant was about.
I don't think Hitler invented microphones.
I don't think that was I don't think those two are tied. I'm just reading the actual transcripts pulled from the actual interview.
I'm actually Googling, did Hitler invent microphones? This is what we have come to, guys.
So Jones at some point felt very uncomfortable and said, well, I don't like Nazis and I don't like Hitler. To which Kanye West specifically said, I like Hitler.
Yeah, Alex
Absolutely
Jones
said
legit
it.
Tried to help him.
Tried.
being like,
Yeah.
Tried.
Hey, let's walk away from this very dangerous cliff you're standing on. Let's take a couple steps into the safe zone. And Kanye West is like, bitch. Like, he just
He's
right
all
over
in.
the edge.
All in.
After they returned from the break, Ye then said, we got to stop dissing the Nazis all the time. Throughout the show, Ye blamed several subjects mentioned in the broadcast, including suppression of free speech. At one point, he said, it's Satan that gets inside and makes them do evil things. At another, he mocked former so-and-so about a bottle of Yoo-Hoo. I don't know. He went off on a fucking thing.
Oh, yeah,
He had-
he did something very upsetting, and it was very
a
weird.
net and a bottle of Yoo-Hoo reference Benjamin Netanyahu, the Prime Minister of Israel, for reasons I don't. I mean, he's Jewish, but like I don't remember what the context was of like why he was only alluding to him like that. It's fucking weird.
He said, you've got a little bit of a Hitler fetish going on, said Jones, who seemed uncomfortable by the intensity of Ye's anti-Semitism. I'm not on the whole Jew thing, Jones said later in the stream. Ye pushed back. I don't like the word evil next to Nazis, he said. I love Jewish people, but I also love Nazis. His exact statement.
No,
Yeah.
no. The answer is no. Oh my god. Oh my god.
It's like he had almost for a couple of the things there. It's like there's the angle of, oh, Jesus loves everyone, and so I love everyone or something. But then he just says, I like Hitler. That's different. That's not a Christian thing. That's just like Hitler. That's
Also,
like
Sarah.
Oh, and to throw it on top,
part of God's whatever.
to put all on top, I don't know. I want to say this. I have not watched the interview. Am I going to? Absolutely. There's zero chance I can't watch this train wreck. It's going to happen. So I might, on the next podcast, have to give a little bit more context because I didn't even know this fucking thing happened until literally an hour before the podcast. And I was trying to consume as much of this as possible before we got on the podcast and didn't really have the time for it. I've been in a very COVID days. That being said, I don't want to necessarily call him a Holocaust denier because I don't know everything that was said, but he said some very Holocaust denying shit. As
he is
he
a Holocaust
said,
denier.
Well, that's what I say. I mean, that's a pretty like hardcore accusation. I mean, dude say he loves fucking Nazis, so it really doesn't matter. But
I mean, we're
for
in
my
hardcore
own,
land
yes, for my own sake. To launch an accusation like that, I would like to hear the actual statements from him himself versus just reading it because this is the Rolling Stones take on the conversation. Mm-hmm. So
that may not be
he did put he didn't kill 6 million Jews. That's just factually incorrect. The Holocaust is not what happened. Let's look at the facts of that. Hitler has a lot of redeeming qualities.
Nope.
Wow.
Hard pass.
I would suggest that that's Holocaust.
I would too, but once again, I would like to hear it myself, is basically what I'm saying. Sure. I don't want to read someone's words and be like, oh yeah, that's what he said, because I'd like to hear it myself from the dumbass that decides to go online and fucking make this public, so,
No, there are like so many things that are wrong, and one thing that I have to remember, and I'm trying to make this very careful balance right here, because he recently revealed to the world, or had it revealed on his behalf, that he is bipolar.
Oh, yeah,
I have friends that are bipolar. This is not an exclusive thing. I have multiple people in my life that are bipolar. On average, I believe there's about 7 major you are dramatically changing your life, like in a semi-permanent way, experiences that people with bipolar will have before they look around and go, okay, like how do I build my life so I don't do this as hard? And sometimes that's on the manic phase and you buy an island. Sometimes it's on the depressed phase and you try to kill yourself. Like there's roughly 7 of these major life-changing events that you go through before you're finally like, fuck, I can't do this anymore because I can't for whatever reason. It's hurting my family, it's hurting me, it's hurting whatever. So what I'm trying to put in my head when it comes to these conversations is like, this man has a mental illness that is extraordinarily severe. It is more outlandish than anything I have ever experienced. It is outside the bounds of any experience I have ever had, what is driving him. And I need to recognize that, and I need to make space for that. But I don't know any of my bipolar friends that have ever gone deep into, like, Hitler's a good guy. Like, that's never happened. So how do I hold somebody accountable while also making space for, hey, you've got a very severe mental illness that could be driving a lot of this mentality? Like, how do you do that?
So it's interesting that you brought that up about the mental illness thing, right? Because I mean, obviously with the fucking Darryl Brooks case and all that stuff and watching that, all that was called into place. Mental illnesses take spot, and you'll have a bunch of people who fucking will look at things, dissect things, There's a lot of people like to game the system. Let me go do all this. Oh shit, this didn't work out for me. Well, I'm fucking bipolar, so that fucking happened. Blah 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 blah, and then they game the system. That also sucks. So for me, I've actually watched a lot of, in my opinion, really intelligent people have this conversation specifically about Kanye, and it is a hard one because you do look at like the stuff that he does professionally, and there's no lie. Like I don't like calling him this because he calls himself this, and it's just as arrogant as possible. Get out, but he is genius. Like whenever it comes to marketing, whenever it comes to fucking all that other stuff, like his actual career that he built himself was fucking phenomenal. He's decided to completely fuck it up with all the dumb shit he's doing now. But before I'm going to just, I guess, full attack the Jews, before that, everything else has just been fucking phenomenal. Like his records, his fucking clothing line, his this, his that. Like he's there's not a spot where he couldn't step in if he didn't want to. Like the dude knew what he was fucking doing business wise. What I will say is, if anybody is sitting on that situation of like, well, maybe this is just a game. He did a sit down interview. It's the only one I've ever seen him do with Joe Rogan before any of this was even close to happening. This is years ago. And just to watch him in that interview, I'm not a Kanye fan. Like, I liked some of his music back in the day. Like, there's fucking, you know, the normal shit that you're going to be like, oh yeah, that was a fucking banger. But I never like followed Kanye religiously. It was just one of those where, you know, I might hear a good song from him. All right, cool. I'll add it to playlist and fucking move on with my life. But to watch him, just like his mannerisms the whole time, the constant twitchiness, the way that he would break stuff down in his head before he would have like the conversation with Rogan and stuff like that. Like, it was very interesting to watch. And I remember leaving that podcast going, I think he needs help. Like, I honestly think like Kanye needs help. And this is before like him and Kim broke off, and then she started dating Pete Davidson and all that fucking controversy came up and everything. Like, it's even before that. So it's a very good, in my opinion, like point in his life to be like, was there actually something going on? Like, does he actually need help? And just like I said, I encourage anybody who's actually wanting to know to go watch. It's only one episode he's ever done it with on Joe Rogan. It's very telling, in my opinion, of like, this is somebody that actually needs help. And I was watching a lot of other comedians that were talking about it, and they're like, you can just tell just by the way he's talking and the way that he's saying certain things. He's like, you know, it's a situation where he grew up in a environment as far as being a rapper and stuff where everybody who raps, they're the best. To them, they are the best. And it's their job to make everybody that listens to the music think that they're the best, because that's how they sell records. But at some point, Kanye stopped doing that as a promotion and just started believing it. And like, we all thought it was just part of the gimmick. I'm God. I'm a genius. I'm God gave me to this generation. At what point did that switch turn? And he wasn't doing it for promotion. This was his actual thoughts. And I feel like you get a really good read of that during that podcast, because Joe Rogan brings some of that stuff up. And like, that's his actual mentality, is like, God chose me to do this. Like, that's his actual mentality on the thing. So like I said, it's a very interesting. I'm not telling you to go watch it because I think it's funny. I don't think this situation's funny at all. Like, obviously I'm going to laugh because some of this shit is just outlandish, and there's just really hardly any other reaction to have that, because you don't see this happen, because that's how fucking crazy it is. And I don't mean crazy in a bad term towards him, but to literally go on TV and be like, fucking, I love Hitler. That's fucking crazy. That's a crazy thing to say.
Yeah,
that's
it's
a crazy
just
thing to
so
say.
out of the norm. It is dangerous though, and
Yes.
I don't for a second want to like not look at that. Like, this makes it more okay for people that wholeheartedly believe those things in a malicious, I want to hurt people kind of way. They're just like,
Neo-Nazis.
well, Kanye said it, nothing happened to him, so now I can say it and it's cool. Like,
Yeah.
no, those are not okay thoughts to have. If you have those types of thoughts, go get help. Something is wrong with you.
Yeah,
Like,
for sure.
not okay.
Yeah, no,
And
and
there's
I'm not
things like
excusing it
this-
at all, for sure. I think it's a very interesting point in his life to go back, if that even is a thought
yeah,
in people's
indeed.
process of like, was there something wrong with him, you know, at all in his career, or is this just a boom, 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 boom? Oh shit, I fucked up. I'm crazy. I'm sorry. Like, no, fucking, like, go watch that interview. It's very like, it was polarizing. Like, I'm just sitting here watching it. Like, you can even see Joe Rogan just look kind of like just off the entire interview, because like he just didn't know how to. It was hard to have a conversation. Like, I don't know. It's weird. Anyways, Joe, I interrupted you. Go ahead.
Sorry, the cover of his album Yay has the text, "I hate being bipolar. It's awesome." That's from 2018. Like, it goes back a while. Like, the idea that he's bipolar is pretty well established.
Right.
Sorry,
It's like,
I
yeah.
am unaware of Kanye news,
Oh, yeah.
so I thought
am-
this like just broke.
No,
like,
no,
2
no.
weeks
No,
ago.
me and Keith, our friend, are big Kanye people.
Ah.
This is a bummer.
Damn.
I'm not thrilled about this whole thing.
I bet.
And there's a line, a song, Flashing Lights, where he says, talks about the paparazzi and how he hates them worse than the Nazis, which looks a bit weird now.
Yeah, true.
Like, you even hate the paparazzi then? You seem to like Nazis. Well,
Not
I don't know.
not like. He likes Hitler. He loves Nazis.
Yeah, see, he
Love
loves Nazis.
was
He
used for
likes
Nazis.
Hitler. Loves the Jews also. So that's his, like, also his, whatever's happening is, like, not cohesively
No.
sensible. Like he
No.
released this image of a Star of David with a swastika in the middle of it as like a unification image.
Nope.
Well, what is he even trying to convey? Like,
You
what
don't
is
get to
he
kill
thinking
6
he's
million
doing?
people and then just like
Yeah.
release a nice graphic and call it okay. Like no.
Like he's like he fell into some shit like online or something. The same thing like Kyrie Irving apparently is into like Black Israelite stuff for like people from Africa or actually the real Jews or something, and it's a whole thing. You get in cities sometimes you get these people standing on the sidewalk with megaphones doing their stuff. I saw it when I was in St. Louis a few months ago. Just like it's a thing. Look into Black Israelites, and it's a small culture, but it's like that's where the predominance of anti-Semitism in the African American community is that generally because the Jews that are Jews are fake Jews.
Fake, yeah, and they're the real
Africans.
ones.
Yes.
Yeah.
See, okay, there's so much challenging with this. To be the most boring person in the room, like, they never bring on academics into talk shows because the academics are just like, okay, well, there's like 2% truth in what you just said, and the other 98 is complete horseshit. So, like, let me provide context for the 2% truth. And they're like, yeah, but that's not a fun sound bite because people have to, like, engage their brains and listen. Like, I'm gonna, like, JoJo and I are holding down that, like, side of the fort right here. But, like, there's an element of truth in the conversation that, like, your average Jew and your average like in history isn't necessarily super Aryan. Like, yes. Yeah, that is very true. Jesus himself was not a white dude, guys. But like that conversation to your average like white suburbanite, super uncomfortable. That conversation to your average black person, super uncomfortable. Like, how do you approach that? How do you do that well? Like, the 2% of truth behind the 98% bullshit is really frustrating.
If you want to get real deep into this, look into Yakub. That's spelled Yakub. He's the ancient black scientist who invented white people.
Oh.
That's like the real off the rails Nation of Islam stuff.
Are you setting me on some conspiracy theory hunt? Am I chasing snipes?
Dude, you
Kelsey's
should look at
about
pictures of
to be on a fucking watch list for
Yakub-
sure.
Yeah, I'm
got,
getting
like-
a watch list.
Oh
vibe.
no, it's fine. You can look into it. They'll tell you're white and not serious about it. It's fine.
Sorry, what you were finished? I was getting
That's all.
concerned with the watch list.
We were invented by a black scientist 7,000 years ago, I believe. Is white people were created by Yakub, who looks like Megamind, but as a black guy, and just has like the bulbous head thing going on. And he created white people for bad reasons, I believe. I don't remember.
Interesting.
These people aren't in touch with things like evolution and skeletal remains and evidence and things like that, are
I
they?
don't know. You'd have to ask them. This is, I mean, of course, not my personal ideology. I will say.
No, it is not.
I am not a follower of Yakub.
I'm so
I'm
uncomfortable.
not associated with the Nation of Islam.
Yeah, I mean, my main thing here is that as a society, and we've seen this happen with other people, and I don't have any examples off the top of my head because fucking shit, either one gets covered up or gets played off as something else all the fucking time. But I definitely think that this definitely happens in this specific career. But, you know, we look at these entertainers on a completely different pedestal than what we're on as just the normal people. And it's so much more fun to the populace to just sit back and look at this and laugh at it or whatever the fuck's going on, blah, 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 blah. I just hope the dude gets the help he needs. Like,
Yeah.
unfortunate at this point, with it been going on as long as it has, just the Jewish thing in general, no one in his corner is going to do that. So I hope that there's at least somebody who is in his life that he somewhat listens to that chooses to finally reach out and is like, look, man, you need help. Because clearly no one in his corner is doing it. Clearly. Like, this has been months now.
The divorce from Kim Kardashian is probably like the thing that snapped entirely, like where now he just has no support structure of sane people anymore. He pushed them all away.
Maybe.
Oh yeah, speaking of Kim Kardashian, I'm pretty sure part of this interview, like the InfoWars interview, is he tried to make an argument that it was his porn addiction that caused Kim Kardashian to have sex videos, which of course happened well before she met
Well, before
him,
she met
knew
Yeah, I
him.
don't think
him.
that timeline checks
Any of
out.
those?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
but from somebody who knows people that have gone through bipolar fate, like that are bipolar and have had these like incredibly varying experiences, like the rewriting of history to fit the narrative that makes sense with the tunnel vision that their illness is currently allowing them, like that is so accurate for that experience. And when you catch them when they're not manic or they're not depressed, and you're like, "This is what you were trying to argue is reality," they're like, "That's horseshit. There's no logic. There's literally no way that is true." And we're like, "Yeah, that's what we tried to tell you at the time." But you can't tell them that when they're in that emotional state. Like it
Right.
will not work. It just won't get all the way through. And so I'm with you on the. I hope he gets the help he needs. I really hope he gets that help before he does any more damage.
That's
Like,
the thing. I'm worried we're gonna start seeing Kanye walking around with like SWAT sticker tattoos and things like that, and like really fuck himself over. Like,
Yeah,
is
and
there a chance he can come
think
back?
He will.
Yeah, is there a chance that
I-
he can come back? I doubt it at this point. I think he's pretty much. It's like you're
Pretty much,
done.
he buried himself. Yeah.
But I mean,
I also
fuck,
don't know if
dude.
it'd be
like,
healthy for him to do so. Like,
Yeah,
I
no,
don't
no,
know.
no.
Like, the weight of fame is so intense already to try to maintain anything resembling, like, A, humility, B, regular relationships, like, a sense of self. Like, as somebody who has no fucking clue what I'm talking about, but from what I can gather, like, that's already so hard. And he already has a few things counting against him that I'm not sure that the weight of fame is appropriate for him for his own well-being moving forward.
Yeah.
As somebody who has no fucking clue what I'm talking about. Don't know the dude, don't know the situation. Just standing on the outside judging.
Yeah. Well, then so like, the other thing, like his mom died a few years ago of
Yep.
a like complication from cosmetic surgery,
Oh,
and so he
God.
like that got into him too, and just like so like his whole every support structure or whatever, like is alienated other famous
Mhm.
people he was friend like Kid Cudi and Jay-Z. He's like were tight collaborators with him. And he's like been shitty to them now. Hangs out with Marilyn Manson for some reason, which is
I know somebody who's
Not
personal friends
great.
with Marilyn Manson, and
oh no.
like apparently Marilyn Manson doesn't super suck, but maybe I'm wrong. Like at least not the way they
There's
describe
maybe
him.
some implication of him being an
Being a
abusive
super suck.
partner to I think Evan Rachel Wood, or I believe was the actress he was in
said
a relationship
abusive?
with. Yeah, I think so. I think that was it.
That's
Yeah,
not
yeah.
great. I don't approve of that.
There's
Don't hate
stuff-
your partners.
Yeah,
Don't hate
there
people.
is. When he collaborated with Kanye, there was people like, "Hey, don't let Marilyn Manson do stuff, buddy," and then
Yeah.
he did it anyway because
Eh.
Kanye doesn't care.
Eh.
That's the thing, Kanye already didn't care, and so like now he just doesn't care about something that's like significant and impossible to come back from. It's like even a million years back, he was on that Katrina telethon saying George Bush doesn't care about black people. Like he had erratic behavior forever. Because they used to be cool. Now it sucks.
Yeah. Well,
True, but like the harm to saying George Bush doesn't care about black people, that harms literally one person. The
It was
harm
more
of
like he went off script on a televised thing.
Oh, I
and
understand.
like you see Mike Myers saying next to him, like, "Huh, that wasn't in there."
This
And they
isn't
cut
our
away
narrative,
abruptly.
yeah.
You know, it's just like, yeah. And then the thing where he went up on stage at the VMAs and like when Taylor Swift won that award, and then like he just always was shitty and erratic.
Yeah, he's always been unpredictable.
yeah, it's nuts. Like I said, I hope that he's able to get the fucking help he needs for sure. But yeah, like I said, just as long as it's been going on, I don't know if he has that in his corner, unfortunately. So
No.
who knows?
And he has no awareness or acceptance, and he needs help.
Yeah,
As far as
that's
he's
the worst
concerned,
part.
he's right and smart. And anyone who's saying, "Hey, man, don't say that stuff," has sold out to the Jews or something. Is the thing like he's like, you know, oh no, you guys are just not willing to give up, to say the truth because you're gonna lose too much too. It's like, nah, man, you're just being shitty. Kanye, just don't be shitty.
He's trying to start a cult, is what it just sounds like.
It sucks. Yeah.
But
Maybe.
again, like the belief that you could be wrong when you're in either that that hypermanic or that
Yeah.
super depressed, and they describe, my friends have described it as tunnel vision. Like you see this piece of the world, and
Mhm.
all of these other facts are literally just not part of the calculation because this is all you're looking at, and it doesn't matter. Like if you said I want to go swimming and your partner says I seriously don't want to go swimming, there is a literal hurricane, you don't know how to swim, like none of those matter. Like this is the only thing that matters, and you can't see the rest of it. And so
Yeah.
like, hearing these things, it's just like, God, that makes so much sense for the illness that he's publicly acknowledged.
Yeah.
Oh God, that's terrible.
Yeah.
Poor everything in this situation.
But yeah,
all of
it's just
it's
all
bad.
sucks.
Let's just turn the cameras away from him for a while and let him like sort his life out.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's nuts for sure.
You
But
don't
yeah.
think the media is going to do that, though? They love a good story.
Obviously not. No one gives
And
a
to
shit
be
about
fair,
fucking
it's
people's
not like
health.
mainstream people are having him on. He has to go on like shitty alt-right, like weird podcasts on the internet.
Mhm. Sure.
They're not welcoming him onto the Jimmy Fallon show.
No.
Anymore.
Yeah, he's not on the Today Show. Like, yeah, no. Good
Yeah.
Morning America isn't hosting him.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's fucking nuts. So, but yeah, like I said, crazy fucking topic for sure. Crazy shit going on. It's been a fucking train wreck since it started, and it just keeps going and going and going. So I like I said, I mean, fucking sooner or later, I mean, he's gonna fucking burn all of his fucking bridges, and then I guess that'll just be the fucking end of it at this point. Because like I said, I don't see anybody fucking standing up to help him out. So
Or get killed.
No, it's-
One of the two.
yeah, or get killed. I mean, that shit can get you killed for sure. Talking like that,
Real fast.
100%.
Real fast.
Not only
That's
that,
super
but
dangerous.
like when he gets out of a manic stage and he goes into a super depressive stage and he turns around and there's nobody there, like the likelihood that he ends up taking his own life either on purpose or on accident
Yeah,
is not out of the question, and that is also tragic.
yeah.
Mm-hmm.
100%. So yeah, it's crazy. I just fucking I couldn't believe it. I was like, wow. So I mean, whenever Alex
Yeah.
Jones is trying to give you a fucking like step out of fucking the bad light,
Yeah, that's bad news.
there's
Yeah.
you're hitting a pretty low.
You're at
So-
the bottom of the barrel.
Yeah. Man, I don't know. It's nuts. It's nuts. Fucking A. But yeah. So I wish I had a transition. I don't. Once again,
Just get us out of
COVID brain.
this. Take us
COVID brain,
somewhere else.
man. Like fucking, it's real. So I'm trying to think of literally anything that we haven't already covered. So Kelsey has joined the New World family. So how do you like New World,
There
Kelsey?
you go.
You know what? Hang on. I need to tell this story. So I have joined New World. I told my husband, I was like, "Hey, I'm getting on with the guys. It's gonna be great. I'm joining the thing. It's gonna be awesome. We're both doing this because we both bought New World." My husband's like, "I didn't buy New World. We said we were going to talk about it. We didn't talk about it. What do you mean?" I'm like, "I already told everybody that you bought it. Like, figure it out." He's like, "I didn't buy New World." I'm like, "Well, fuck." Like, then I'm hanging out, and he's like, "But it's Friday night," and I'm like, "Bitch, I committed both of us, and you decided to fuck off. Like, I don't know what to do here." And so he's like, "Well, I guess I'll do research to see if I'd like the game." And I'm like, "Yeah, how about you do that?" And he's like, "But it's Friday night. Do you want to like watch a movie?" I'm like, "No, I'm hanging out with people. Like, made that commitment, doing that thing, gonna go have fun." And he's like, I guess I'll watch a movie then." And I'm like, "Yeah." And he's like, "Are there any movies that we have that you don't want to see?" So I joined the New World family expecting my husband to be part of that. He is not at this particular
So what
point.
movie did he watch?
Not a
We're all
damn
waiting to
clue.
know.
I'm so
Okay.
sorry. You're friends with him personally. You can message him, JoJo,
Nah,
and then
I
tell us
only
on the
care
next
insofar as
podcast.
this. No,
You don't want to just message Scott out of freaking nowhere and be like, "Hey, what
Like,
movie
what
did you
movie?
Hey,
watch?"
what movies you watched last Friday?
Amazing.
Movie
It's not
Scott.
creepy at all.
Yeah.
And then in an incredibly wonderful and very giving thing, I am doing the tutorial, and while you're in the tutorial, like, everybody else is in the world around you. And so you, like, there's you and there's like 6 people that all like spawned in with you kind of thing, and you're all just running around, you see each other at all of the news, like everything. Canter and his wife came and hung out with me, and they kept me from dying probably 80 times, as I just like threw myself at enemies with absolutely no regard for dodging, blocking, taking myself out of being hit in any way, shape, or form. Like, no, I'm just going to take it and then stab you in the neck as many times as I could. So, I haven't died once, and that is 100% because Canter and his wife came and hung out with me and got me through it. So when I go play by myself, I'm going to die constantly and be very confused.
Nah, you were getting the hang of it.
You're kind.
You were. You took on 2 guys, you got down a little itty-bitty health bar, but you still killed them.
I ran past 3 guys, and I'm like, they won't follow me that far. They followed me that far, and then they were mean.
I felt bad because, like, I wanted Kelsey to play this game for fucking ever, but I knew that the time sink it took back in the day, there was 0 chance that was fucking happening. And so now that it's different, as you saw, I mean, you fucking almost were already able to fucking join the Marauders. Like, you fucking leveled up super fucking quick. So, so I wanted Kelsey to come hang out. Well, unfortunately for Kelsey, literally about an hour and a half to 2 hours before she got on, we had a war for our territory, and it was our first defensive war. And goddamn, did we whip some fucking ass. So everybody was on a war hype. Everybody was on a war hype. So it's like Kelsey's in the game, and I'm trying to fucking get out there to hang out with Kelsey, and then it was like one after another. People are like, man, dude, OPR's not popping. I was like, oh, it kind of sucks. And for those who don't know, OPR is just 20v20. So it's like a mini war, if you will, but without any stakes. And so it's like, OPR's not popping. I was like, oh, that sucks. And I'm like, duel me, duel me, duel me. So it was like a situation where it's like, I'm with Kelsey, and then I get invited to a duel, and then I duel, and then I duel, and then I duel, and then I duel, and now Kelsey's 900 meters away, so then I run all the way over to Kelsey, and then I'm with Kelsey, and then I get asked by someone. Before I knew it, I'm in a field with Canter's wife, who has dueled me and lost like 50 times, JJ, who me and him kept going back and forth, Sensei, who me and him kept going back and forth, Rose, who I could honestly kind of kicked your ass a little bit, bro, sorry, and fucking Dude, who was just being a fucking healing troll. So, and I kept trying to get back to Kelsey, but all these people were just like, duel me, duel me, duel me, duel me. So, for anybody watching, the next time Kelsey is on, Chris is on airplane mode. So I'm going to go hang out with Kelsey. But you did get to meet a lot of the fun people of the company, like the really like energetic ones, especially our mascot dude. So I was pretty excited about that.
So much fun. All of the guys in the company are so cool, and I was just like, this is great. I had a great time just hanging out with Canter and his wife because I haven't met her yet, so it was lovely to just like be in a small chat with the 3 of us. And then I'm getting these messages from Chris, and he's like, "Where'd you go? Did you leave that fast? What the fuck, are you ignoring me? Like, that's not what you said. You said it much nicer than that."
My exact thing was, "Are you standing me up, ma'am?"
It was perfect. I loved it. So meeting the whole company, or meeting a bunch of people in the company, was delightful. They are super fun, and I'm really looking forward to going back. But Scott, since he wanted to watch a movie and not play this game for whatever reason, he was like, "You need to leave enough time at the end to like watch an episode or 2 of something with me before you go to sleep." And I'm like, okay, cool. So at like 2 in the morning, I'm finally like, I am tired enough. I can watch 1 or 2 episodes and then go to bed. I come out and my husband is reading a book and he is dead. It's like, he has no energy. I'm like, you want to watch something? Like, I've been hanging out with dude, and like, everybody else. Like, I'm having a great time. And he's just like, if we watch something, it will then be 2:30. And I'm like, yep, that's how time works. And he's like, ugh. I have never seen my husband tired at 2 in the morning when I had a bunch of energy, and it was hilarious. So thank you all for giving me that experience.
Oh man, yeah, no, it was pretty good because I was like, all right, cool, I'm gonna go out there and teleport and go fucking hang out with Kelsey and Canter, and then I'm like dead in the middle of teleporting, my dude's slowly evaporating into nothing, and then I just see Canter's wife just run by and just start teabagging me as I'm teleporting. I was like, okay, that's just fucking toxic, ma'am. So she comes out there. It was her fault. Honestly, it's all Canter's wife's fault. I blame her. Like, it wasn't the teabagging that started it. It definitely made me hostile towards her. So then I whipped her ass in whatever 2-story house we were in. She's like, I couldn't move around. I was like, there's a road right here. She goes, no, we're going to go out to the field. She took me like fucking 1,000 kilometers away to this random fucking field. Just so that way when she used her clear out move, it literally, actually, there's an animation and it cuts the grass. The grass comes back in 2 seconds, but it just cuts the grass for that specific move. That's the whole reason she wanted me out there. So then before I know it, I turn around, JJ's out there with me. Then I turn around, Sensei's out there. Then I turn around, Rose out there. Then Sudude's out there. And I'm like, where's Kelsey? And I just look up at the fucking compass and it's like, she's 1.9 kilometers that way. And I was like, Jesus Christ. I was like, I'm never going to fucking be able to fucking do anything. And then I finally got over there with Kelsey. She's like, all right, guys, I'm logging out for the night. And I was like, God damn it.
Yeah, I felt so bad about that because you were like,
It was
I'm
my
going
fault.
to make it to Kelsey. And I'm like, I'm falling asleep.
No,
so
it was
sorry.
my fault. It was my fault.
Not at all.
But it was fun.
So much fun. I did love every time Cantor's wife like challenged somebody though to a duel or something like that. People are just like, "Who fucking cut the grass out here?"
Every time, dude. Every time. Like every time somebody else showed up, she would duel them first, and they'd be like, where'd the fucking grass just go? Like every time, it was fucking nuts. And then like it's like I whipped her ass in a duel like 10 times, and she comes up, she's like, she didn't say it in chat, but she fucking messaged me in the game. It was like, roll me for 1K. I'm like, I just got through beating you in a duel. You really want to lose money to me too? We rolled for 1K. She lost 1K. I was all like, are you done? Are we done?
Wow.
Can we leave this fucking magical field that you decided to bring us out to? The magical field of duels. So it was a lot of fun.
I need to figure out so much of that game's mechanics because at this point I have so much stuff. I can't figure out how to get rid of it. I don't know what to get rid of that's valuable versus what's not valuable. Like I need
scrap all of it. You just
basic
scrap it
game
all.
help.
Anything, yeah, well, like I said, next time you get on, you'll have my full attention. But anything that you get at this point in the game is trash. Like, there's zero.
Everything is trash.
Yeah, everything's
Okay.
trash. You're not going to
True.
get anything anybody wants at this point in the game. You're like a level 15. No one cares about anything you pick up. I know that sounds like a dick thing to say, but it's true.
No, it's fine.
Oh, unless it's like you're getting like harvesting materials, because like all that shit is necessary all the time.
Mhm.
Like,
Yeah.
if you have wood, that's basic wood's used for everything up to like higher wood.
Higher.
Mhm.
I need
I
to
don't know what
speak
the
real
fuck they call
fast in JJ's defense. Like, I need to say something nice about JJ because I think usually when JJ's on a podcast or I encounter him, I only shit on him. So I need to be nice for a second because he genuinely deserves it. JJ, usually when I play games with him, he waits at the end of a level to kick me off a platform or he actively finds a way. He's like, wait a minute, your character's the only one weak to this? I'm going to beat you up with that thing. Like, the man pisses me off. I have
JJ.
said not nice things to him in front of people that I obviously didn't mean, but I was mad. JJ knows I don't mean it, hopefully. JJ showed up and was just like, wait, what level are you? And I'm like, I'm level 12, be nice to me. And he's like, oh, yeah, here, I'm going to make you a thing. It's really going to help you up, but you need to get up like 3 more levels. And just like gave me shit and then ran off. And I'm like, that is literally the nicest you have ever been to me. I'm a little suspicious of what's in this backpack.
Yeah, no, he's our bag maker, so he makes bags for the people in the company
Aw,
to be able to
that was
help
so
it out.
sweet of him. And like Canter, right before, like I haven't hit level 20 yet. I'm almost there. And at level 20, like it costs you a bunch to like respec stuff. Like you've set me up with a whole bunch of stuff, so that way when I do hit level 20, like I've got experience with a bunch of the stuff and have a great idea. Like you're the company, you guys in particular, everybody who knew me was super nice, but even the people who didn't, everybody was super helpful and very generous. I was blown away. Like least toxic community I've ever been in. You guys rock.
And
Thank you.
Yeah, we've done a really good job, in my opinion, as far as the community that we have. And I mean, you've only met a handful of the people. I think most of the people you met are leadership, though, too. Yeah, Sensei is leadership. Rose isn't leadership, but he's definitely on my list for sure, and I've already told him that. Sudude's leadership. So
I was about to ask about Sudude.
Yeah, Cantor's wife is
Sudude's
leadership.
got a place in my heart.
Sudude is great. Like he's so, and he got so mad at me when I said this. Whenever we actually first recruited him, that was Tony that recruited him through, I think, like Reddit or something like that. And so whenever he joined, Tony literally goes, "Hey, I'm just gonna let you know this guy is like super pro green, but not pro company." So he might not stick around. Like he could just bounce around from company to company. Like he's here for Marauders. He's not here for Seraph's Blade. And I was like, okay, I'm not gonna put too much stake into him then. And I didn't. And then one night he reached out and he's like, hey man, like I know the company doesn't have a lot of healers, so I'm gonna switch all my stuff over and I'm gonna be a healer. And I am not able to get into any like chest runs or get into any dungeons. And I was like, oh well, fuck, dude, I'll fucking get you into shit. Like I'm always looking for a healer, easy. So then I started getting him into shit with this all the time. And like I slowly saw him change from like I'm here for green versus I'm here for the company. And so like he's definitely fucking out of all the people. Whenever when we did the promotions, basically it was there's so many people in the company. We're all going to play with different people. So it was like, bring your candidates to the table for promotion and then kind of talk about why. And so I had like fucking paragraphs per each fucking person that I was bringing to the table. And so whenever I got to I wrote all this stuff out. And so whenever I was talking to him, he goes, who put me up for promotion? And I was like, well, I mean, I did. I was like, but you didn't have any no votes against you. Like, everybody was completely okay with you being, leadership. And he goes, well, what did you say that I did? And so I just read him like my entire paragraph. And he literally was like, he's like, just the way that like my behavior and stuff is and stuff like that. He's like, that's just how I am in game. He's all like, but for someone to like notice it and be like, that's leadership potential. He's like, you have no idea how much that fucking means to me, dude. And I was just like, damn, man. I was like, kind of hit me in the feels a little bit, bro. You're welcome. Like, fuck. Like,
that's wonderful. I have a question for you.
Yes.
I think I don't know anything yet. I've been in it for a few hours and hung out with some cool people. Like, I'm green. But, do you think, I'm a noob is the better way of saying that. Do you think, like, if I wanted to learn how to heal effectively and be a good healer, do you think Suddude would be able to like take me under his wing and teach me a couple things?
He probably would, but he would probably also defer you to Steven, which is Tony's cousin. I don't think you've ever met him before. He is our top healer in the company, and like we're very open with like our builds are completely posted in the fucking Discord for people to just go and copy if they want to. Like absolutely 100%. But yeah, Suddude would definitely take you out there and be like, this is when I use this, and this is when I use this, and this is what I like to do. Da 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 da. We actually having a joke about that last night because this one dude was talking about how his brother is in the company. He's like, yeah, he's a healer. And he's like, I just say healing's so boring. And fucking Suddude's all like, well, it gets boring sometimes whenever you're like in the lower level stuff. He's like, but then I just look at Clouded and I watch his health go down and I start to laugh because his health is going down. And then I wait for him to die. And then he dies. And I just like, oh man, dude, you must have got one tap by that. He's like, and then that just sets Clouded off. Because then he's like, no, motherfucker, I didn't get one tapped because that's not how that fucking works. You just chose not to fucking heal me. And I decided to fucking, he sounded exactly like me. Like he didn't even need to rehearse it. I've said it so many times. It's great. So me and Suddude go back and forth. My first time doing a dungeon with Suddude, and Kelsey got this treatment that night too, was as soon as we got into the dungeon, he's like, all right, nobody can move forward. I have to ask a very, very important question before we move into this dungeon. What are your thoughts on coleslaw? And I was just like, seems like a trick question. And he's like, how you answer this is you will not get healed if you answer this wrong. So it's like, okay, sweet. So my health pots are going to be active because I hate coleslaw. Awesome. Let's go.
Oh, that was the wrong answer.
It was.
Oh, there is a wrong answer, and I know what it is now. But he asked me. I asked him what his opinions were, and he told me, and then never got my answer. So
Nope,
I have held
exactly.
my coleslaw opinions close to my heart.
Yep. He's fucking hilarious. Like, he's just always up for anything, and that's what I love about him. Like, fucking, we were all sitting there talking about anime one night. He's like, yeah, I don't watch anime. And so he just kept calling us a bunch of weebs and shit like that all night long. And then he's like, hey, Clouded. And I was like, what's up? And he goes, where can I watch anime? And I was like, fucking Crunchyroll. Go to Crunchyroll and you'll fucking watch whatever you want to. And so now he'll be like, hey guys, what do you think is a good anime? And I'll be like, My Hero Academia. And he'll be like, all right, I'll be back. And then he'll like disappear for like 2 hours. And he'll come back in and he'll be like, that fucking anime is terrible. That dude just cries the entire fucking time. It's terrible anime. What's another good anime you guys like? And then like he'll just fucking just tear people's fucking animes apart. Or be like, oh, this anime was actually good. Da, 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 da. So he started like an entire fucking just yelling match between like me and Tony and this other guy about anime last night, and like we were getting into it and he's just in the back just fucking like
I love it. Some people are pot stirrers. They're fun.
He's such a troll. Like I said, my favorite thing that he does is whenever he fucking duels somebody, because dueling a healer is the fucking worst thing in the world because they just fucking heal the entire time and stand in their healing circles. And last night I actually dueled I dueled Flap, which is our best healer in the company, and he normally does not duel. He's like, I don't want to duel because I'm a healer and it's just going to fucking last forever. And he was dueling like Tony and them one night, and like they couldn't kill him. And I was like, all right, well, you dueled them, so you're going to duel me. You're the only person in the company I haven't dueled like in leadership. I was like, I have to duel you. And so he had just got a brand new greatsword, and our duel lasted 12 minutes. 12 fucking minutes, just a 1v1. It looked like an anime fight. We were all the way up and down this fucking beach, just fucking constantly just fucking going at each other and shit. And he was just like, that was one of the most fun fucking duels I've ever fucking had. He's like, I couldn't do anything to you. You couldn't do anything to me. Like, but it was one of those things where it's like, I would get him down to like that much health. And then, like, I would accidentally miss a hit, and then he'd fucking pop a heal, and then boom, boom, right back at 100%. And I was like, God damn it. Like, oh, my left finger hurts so bad. So bad. God. I mean, I was just click, like, forever. And so, but with Sadu, whenever you fight him, it just cracks me up because you'll be hitting him, and then he'll throw a heal circle away from you two, and he'll be like, "Hold, please," and then he'll just run over to the circle, and he'll be like, "Okay, you can resume hitting me now." Like, just like he's such a fucking troll, dude. He cracks me the fuck up. He's great. But yeah, no, there's still so many fucking people for you to meet that you're gonna like for sure. But yeah, it was a lot of fun. But yeah, Canter's wife derailed me, and I'm sticking to that story. It was her fault. She took me out into the magical field of fucking buffalo and everything else for JJ to hide from. That's the part that pissed me out the most. Like, at least she sat there and fought me. JJ's like, "Hey, duel me," and then he runs like a football field away from me. I'm like, "You're ranged, bro. This isn't even fucking fair. You're just gonna shoot me down by the time I get there." So he's like, "Okay, I'll get close," and then he'd get a little bit closer, and as soon as the duel would start, he would jump behind like a fucking log or something in a bush, and I'm like, "Okay, fucking, all right." Jackass. So then, and the duels, that's the best part is, and he's gonna fucking, because I know he watched our shit, he's gonna fucking hate this, but it's fucking true. Our duels were really back and forth, and then we went and fought at the Circle Beach on Monarchs, where there's nothing for you to hide behind, and he got his fucking ass whooped fucking 12 times in a row. So if there's nothing for you to hide behind, even with fucking distance, you got your fucking ass stomped. So to the point where he's all like, "All right, this is just pissing me off now," and I was just like, there's not a fucking downed log where I'm like spinning and hitting the fucking log and you're just sitting on the other side of it taking no fucking damage. So I'm sorry, I don't know what to tell you. But yeah, so it was a lot of fun though. He's got a good build. He's working on a really good build. It's nasty. Like, if he can stay away from you, like, he uses the bow primarily and then the spear if you get close. But there's times where like I was running at him and he was just fucking pinpoint accurate with that spear. I'd get a fucking spear to the face, my dude would go flying backwards and just land on the ground. And I had to get the whole animation of him getting the fuck up and stuff like that. And I was like, God damn, dude. Like, my dude would just get hit and fly 5 feet. I was like, so hard to already close so much gap. And then he would just take off running with his bow. Just woo! And then get back up and he's fucking shooting poison arrows and explosion arrows at me. And I'm just like, fuck. So, but yeah. It's a fun game. I'm glad you finally got a chance to come out and hang out. I didn't think you would dislike it, so I just knew that there was zero chance you were gonna fucking like the game. Imagine you played this same amount of time you just did, and you only got to level 3, because that's what it would have been like. Like,
it was. And the rest of you are level 60. No, I don't. Well, like, Chris, you know this. Like, I straight up do not have the time to commit to something like that. Exactly. Like, I just don't.
Yep, exactly. So that's why I was like, man, dude, Kelsey would love this game, but she would not be able to fucking do it. Like, it's just plain simple. And then once they're all like, we're literally taking this to like 20 hours to get from 0 to 60, I was like, bet. I was like 100% bet Kelsey could do that. Yeah, then she can come fuck around and play around and all that fun stuff, get in dungeons. Like, so it's a lot of fun. Definitely a lot of fun. But yeah.
And I did recently find out that they're, do I say this? I think I'm going to say this because none of my work people are ever going to watch it, especially not in time. I did find out that there's a major slowdown that's going to be happening as part of December where they're just like, if you end up just playing video games with your laptop near you, that's fine. If someone messages you, just pause the video game. And I'm like, that's really helpful for some of the video games I want to play.
There you go.
That could be relevant in December. It may
there
not
you
be.
go. Yeah, no, I fucking feel bad. Fucking, they were giving me shit last night. I was all like, man, dude, Crisis Core comes out in a week, and I don't think I'm gonna fucking touch it a single time for like a fucking month, dude. I'm so in New World right now. It's fucking crazy. That's all I'm fucking doing. Like, fucking day in, day out, whenever I'm not being a dad and fucking working and being a boyfriend, it's like fucking New World. Like, that's all I'm fucking doing. So, oh man. It just sucks. We just got the war roster changes, so now you have to have 40 people of your own company to fucking field a war. And I don't think we have the roster for that. We just got pushed, so we're going into war tomorrow. Might lose Monarch's Bluff. Probably gonna happen.
No!
My next podcast, might have an attitude change.
Yeah, might have an attitude change. Like, fuck New World, dude.
New World.
I've been playing Crisis Core. No. I'm actually excited about it because it's like I try to tell all the people who joined, because that's my biggest worry with stuff like that is like people. There's very shaky leadership a lot, and we just had one of the biggest green companies just be like, we lost Windsward, we can't fucking ever recover, and then they just broke. Like, that's it. They don't exist anymore. They were the first company to buy a territory for green, like the first. We were the second. So, but a lot of fucking leadership's shaking. It's like, we've been here before. Like, we took First Light when we only had 10 members on the legacy servers. We lost it literally that weekend, and then we fucking just kept our heads down. Fucking got everybody geared up. We took Monarch's Bluff and Weaver's Fin, held both of them until our server got merged into another server, then lost both of them because of the merge. And then now here we are on Fresh Start servers, started out with Monarch's Bluff, and we didn't even want Monarch's Bluff. It just happened to happen out. Like, we had the 100K, and Monarch's Bluff was the best territory on the map. So we were like, fuck it, we'll just take Monarch's Bluff. I mean, we've held it for over a month at this point. Like, that's
I don't even think I've been to Monarch's Bluff in the time that I've played. Like, I should probably, like, find a way to wander in that direction. I don't even know where it is. I'll have to figure that out.
It won't be ours anymore, probably, by that point. You will have missed out on that part. But it's like I told everybody, like, that was never my plan, is to, like, just stay with Monarch's Bluff. It's a tier 2 territory. I'd rather have a tier 1 territory. Like, we're a big enough company. We can go for that. So having an Everfall or a Windsward or a Brimstone Sands, it's not out of the realm of possibility. So the only thing that sucks about owning a territory is that you get really, really hesitant about attacking another territory, because if you win, you now have 2 territories at the same siege window. You potentially lose everything because they could double deck you. Now, if we lose, once again, we have a good chance to win. If we lose, we don't have that worry. So we have over 500,000 in the bank, and it takes 15K to get a maximum upgrade in the war. 15K, that's it. So we will be sieging and sieging and sieging, and everybody's going to get war experience that wants war experience, because that is what that whole bank is there for. Just war. So we'll get back on the map. I'm not worried about that. I mean, for us to have, we have 86 members in the company, and out of the 86 members, we had 33 of them sign up for our first defensive war that we won. Out of those 33, 24 of them, that was their first time ever being in a war. And we won. Their first time ever being in a war. It's not going to be our first time and last time on the map. It's not going to happen, so I'm not worried about it. If we fucking lose, is what it is. We might. I just don't think we're going to be able to hit the 40-person recommendation, or the hard fucking rule of having 40 people. That's my only worry. If we have 40 people and Minotauri's already reached out and said, hey, you can have our 10 best people, fucking, I'm not worried about it. But if we can't hit that 40, that number difference is really going to fucking hurt. Like, if we're 33 and we're down 7 people, that's going to fucking hurt somewhere. So, and you physically can't swap anybody out for that. So, with the new changes that also came in, is that you can also only participate in 1 offensive war and 1 defensive war a day. And if you swap to a different company, you have a 72-hour cooldown period before you can participate in any of their wars. They're trying to kill shell companies is what they're doing. I 100% am for it.
That makes sense.
100% for it. It just, in my opinion, really sucks, because now whenever you look at alliances, like for us, Pyramid Scheme is a big company. Foxhound used to be a big company. Minotaur is a big company. It's like, let's say Minotaur is the best green company on the server. I'm going to look at Pyramid Scheme and be like, hey, we're really cool friends. I talk to you all the fucking time. I'm totally going to slot your top 5 who are worse than Minotauri's second top 5. No, that's not going to happen. You know what I mean? Like, you can't do that diplomacy fucking shit with the war roster anymore. Like, I give you guys, fucking 3 groups and you guys 2 groups, and then the rest is all going to be Saris Blade. Now it's 40 of my 50 are Saris Blade. I have 10 slots I can give up. I'm not going to go to Minotauri and get their top 10 people. Of course I am. I'm not going to lose my territory just because I want us to be cool. Like, you're going to do the same thing. You're not going to slot Saris Blade over Minotauri. It's not going to fucking happen. Minotauri has some of the best people on the fucking server. It's not going to happen. So, it just sucks, because we used to use that for that all the time, and that was really cool, because you got to have that synergy. Like, so many people sleep on synergy. It's crazy. Like, being able to give a whole group to Pyramid Schema, a whole group or 2 to fucking Minotauri, and just let them do their shit. Like, hey, this is what I want you to do. Other than that, you guys know how you act. And then they get in their own comms. They have 1 person listening to the overall comms, and then bam. I mean, that's how that war worked. It was perfect. They made it onto our main point for a total of 3 seconds. After that, they didn't even get through the fucking door again. Not a single time. Not a single fucking time. Like, that's synergy. You can't fucking sleep on it. It's so good. So good. But, oh, well, we'll see what happens next week. Maybe James is right and there will be a little bit of a mood change. No, I'm still in love with the game. I'm having a lot of fucking fun. So, but yeah.
James, do you have anything to say? I think you've said a total of 8 words this entire podcast.
I'm good.
He's upset about Kanye.
Yeah, this is my favorite,
Do you really want to pledge him forever? Is that really where you want to be right now?
Not anymore. JoJo, did your computer officially die as far as New World goes? Because I saw you the other night try to get on, and you got on off, like for like a fucking 30
I
minutes
got this the Steam Deck.
Oh, you got one! Let's go,
Yeah.
dude. That's fucking gorgeous.
Right, so that was me trying to make that work because whenever like the game runs in theory, except for whatever reason it won't connect normally to my Wi-Fi via the Steam Deck, which is a New World exclusive issue. I looked into it,
Weird.
and I can sort of connect if I use my phone as a hotspot to connect to that, but not to my Wi-Fi.
That's
there might be
very
something I can
weird.
do to the Wi-Fi. But it was like I was able to work like to play the game pretty all right for a while, but then when I tried fast traveling, the game just hard crashed,
Really?
and that happened multiple times. So
Interesting.
I gotta do some more
Research on that
figuring
one.
it out. Yeah,
Are the devs working on that by any chance? Of like,
probably not.
It's probably not a known
our
issue.
players on
Realistically,
Steam Deck
no.
need to be able to, play the game?
Yeah,
That's just some weird thing. But,
Steam
like,
Deck's so
yeah.
fucking new at this point.
Yeah.
Like,
Can
I
you
highly doubt they even
hardwire
know.
a Steam Deck?
I was about to
don't
ask you. I
think
haven't
about
seen
it.
those consoles at all. Do they have an Ethernet port on them or at all?
Yeah.
So you can get it's like a Switch almost exactly.
Okay,
I
so it's
just
got
the
the dock. Yep.
You have to buy it separately,
Okay,
so I can get
gotcha.
it first,
Yep.
and then realize, oh no, I need a dock. I just got that in the mail today. So you can
Okay.
hook this. I can hook it up to my monitor, and basically, I have a Bluetooth keyboard. I got. You can play it like an actual computer, because like
Nice.
the also the straight up Steam Deck controls for the game for New World do not work great.
Oh, I'm sure they don't.
Like it doesn't
Oh.
map super well to this.
I'm sure they don't.
Setup.
Yeah, that wouldn't surprise me at
Yeah.
all. I mean, to
But,
be
like,
fair, out of all
yeah.
MMOs, like New World is kind of like on that low end of like how many buttons you actually need for the game to operate.
Yeah,
But
it
still-
could work. I could make it work if I do some custom stuff with the layout, but it was just
Mhm.
like
Yeah,
the chatting will be hard,
yeah.
right? Like any text entry is just easier to get a keyboard.
Well, that's fine. You've only
Um,
ever used it to creep me the fuck out, so I mean, I'm
Yeah.
completely fine with you not having that.
I'm just gonna spook you. I need to be able to spook you. But I've got like 100 games already in my Steam library that work perfectly on it, so
That's
the
awesome,
Steam Deck
dude.
is still cool, even if the New World doesn't work out.
Yeah.
It is a cool thing.
Yeah, I definitely want to pick mine up at some fucking point for sure. I hope you guys enjoyed this podcast. If you did, make sure you like, subscribe, turn on notifications, hit us in the comment section below. Let us know your thoughts on some of the shit we talked about.
Send a letter to
if you really
Kelsey's
wanted
house. Your feelings about this podcast.
Yes, in Tucson, Oklahoma. Yes, that was right. Jesus. Anyways, make sure you like, subscribe, share. That's the best way to support us. But after the end of all this, hope you guys have a great week. We'll see you next time.